Hello, my name is Barry Fearson, an NPI engineer in Austin, Texas, at the NPI Deployment Center. We will have a video here to discuss the modular MCU and the Softblade and how to deploy everything. And just a high level, the Softblade itself will replace the legacy Polycom Content Connect and or the older CSS. So the software itself, as we know, we're all aware of upgrading an RMX or RPCS. It uses a bin file, and we have OVAs for deploying the MCU software within the VM infrastructure and or Hyper-V. However, with 8.7, we now actually have a Blade software that we'll use, which are basically translators from the Link side to, or Skype for Business side to, which is the RDP to our protocols necessary at the bridge. So the software itself, if you look at the OVA name, it's PLCM-RPP base, and the software version, of course, 8.7.1.494 is the GA'd release. So for every MCU software that's released, you have a Softblade OVA that should always be used and upgraded to. So there is no real upgrade option. You would need to power it off, just kill it, basically remove it from manager and deploy a new one and go back through the motions. So right now we'll discuss this particular version because this is the GA'd release, and we'll go through the motions of deploying it here within a few minutes. So one of the first things that we need to do for MCU is we need to turn it into a modular MCU. And for us to enable the modular settings, it's of course a flag. So under the setup system config, we have, you can see right here, enable modular MCU. We have 3 different values for that. One is no, one is mixed, which is the preferred, and one is, or the other one is yes. The mixed will be both the Link RDP and WebRTC. So again, mixed is the preferred setting there for our needs. There's more information in regards to that in the admin guide for a deeper knowledge base. So let's see. As you see here, I've got mine to set the mix, and we've currently have 5 translators or Softblades connected to our bridge. And again, this is a hardware-based bridge, but this could be also a Hyper-V RPCS or a VM RPCS. So we've got this set up, and it shows here the Softblades. We've got 160 gigahertz for our content, etc. So, all right. So, what we're going to do is deploy another Blade server here, and we're going to go File, Deploy OVA. We'll browse to our desktop where I have the software, and hit Next. Hit Next again. Of course, I'm putting it here. We can change the name. I like to call it something informative to me. It's going to be in our primary cluster. Use our data store here. Thin provisioning. This is all just the basic settings, and let that deploy. Now we have a DHCP environment, so once this powers on and boots up, we will need to go through the motions of changing that to mask my numbering scheme here. I want to change the IPs to 170 so I know exactly what's connected into my RMX. Okay, so close. Just connect to the console.
Hey, you know that? You know, we still slow. Everybody thinks it's Friday. I think it's Friday.
We'll just let this come up.
Sure.
See here, it's a sent to OS 66. It's good. Okay, log on here is lowercase Polycom. Polycom, just get connected here. Polycom. Polycom. We have a minion status. As you see, nothing's set up, but you can kind of see our minion ID. Once again, if we toggle out of here and look at here, you'll see that same translator ID arrive at the system monitor, but right now we're not ready to do so. So basically just showing the status. It's disabled. Just hit OK. Just click back in here. The minion configuration is where we would do all of our stuff, but we're not going to do that yet. We're going to go to the main menu to set our IP. So within here we have our standard kind of window network setup. Let's go ahead and enter. We're going to change our IP address to from a dynamic to a static. And we're going to pick 70 here. Everything else should be fine. Restarting, done. Comes back, gives us the information here. This looks good. DNS setup, set host name. Let's just take care of that too. 170 BS. Servers. That looks good. Yeah, our search domain should be changed, but we'll change it now. Anyhow, that you get the gist of this. So we're going to exit back to the main menu. So we set the network setup, we did the DNS setup, nothing else there to do. We can come back to our minion setup at this point. This is where you enter the master's IP. So one more time, we're going to toggle back to our bridge. Our bridge itself, this would be the management IP of the box. So we have the main MCU, whatever IP address is here, is what we're going to use. And I know we deal a lot with split networks, this network, that network. So whatever we're seeing within System Monitor for main MCU, this will be the IP address that we use to point to. So going back to our see here, 10.223.37.100. Oops. 110. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm gonna hit OK. Checking connectivity, restarting minion, waiting for RPFX file from master. So everything, we're going to stop here, toggle back to here. We see our translator come on in. It's pending an authorization right now, or authentication. And we really can't do anything. If you right click here, you just got delete, but we can't do anything until we actually get an IP address here. So give it a couple minutes. Now some of these others, for example, while we wait, you can right click. You've got delete, disable, restart. In the event you get in a condition, you can restart it and bring it back on in. If you wanted to delete it and let it come back on in, and then go through the pending authentication settings at that point, you can do that as well. I've only seen a couple areas where you might get reports in the system alerts that it's been disconnected. So, for example, now this now has an IP. We have pending authentication. We can right-click and we do accept. So this is where we get a generic Blade password. This kind of helps with the things, with the settings. So here, you just want to do like 4 ones, 1, 1, 1, 1. It could be whatever you want. Don't make it challenging, because it's really just a quick, hey, this is really me connecting to it by using the 4 ones at the other side. So hit OK, toggle back to our VM, which is now changed to this. Just clicking in here, I want to point out, so I'm going to hit 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Notice you're not seeing anything. That is a bug, in my opinion. I got a case written up on that. You should be able to see characters that you're pressing, even if it's stars there or asterisks. But I'm going to I hit the 4 ones, and I'm just going to hit enter, and that tells me I did it right. So Minion is now unregistered and is ready, is what it's saying, but the true status is seen here. It's changed to Softblade pending auth. Now it's installing. Well, it's still installing. It takes a little bit. You can kind of see what it's doing. Basically restarted this back here. So should have had that open so you could see it. But it really restarts your stuff. So it's booting up. Just kind of roll that over there. You still see it installing in the background. So we see our main menu. I can just go ahead and close this now. Of course, a watch pot never boils. Here we're all staring at it, so it's working. Take my word for it. It's doing something in the background. It should change to a ready state here in a couple seconds. So. While we're waiting there, just want to point out a couple other things. Let's see, from the admin guide, we had some, let's see, what's these resources? there's a whole appendix for modular MCU in the admin guide, so just point that out. From our deck of the TOI, we have, where is it? Just gonna bring it over here real quick. Oh, well. Just to discuss the quantities that you get, based off of my box, my VM infrastructure, and what I'm deploying this into. It's provided me the value of what you see here. You saw that we went from 160 to now 192, and that's a total of let's see here, 6 translators in my VM infrastructure. That's gives me 192 gigahertz. One of the last things that you need to do is either on the DMA template or, for example here, I'll just look at our conference templates. Conference profiles. If we look inside the conference profile, we've got one on this box, and under the video quality tab, we want to enable MSRDP content. This needs to be enabled for you to use the Blade software. So again, this is one of the last things that need to be done on the MCU. This is also exists in DMA. Let's see if we can find it in DMA. Open up. Okay, bringing open DMA here. We have your admin conference templates. Edit. Let's see. Video quality. Here we go. Enable MSRDP content. So either way, whichever template you're using, you have DMA. It's here, and or RMX. It's here in the video quality tab. So you need to enable that and hit OK. All right, so this just shows how to deploy and add another Softblade to your RMX. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much.